So here what I'm going to be talking about is a function with return value. Function with return value. What does that mean? It means for the function it will usually return a value which can be stored in a variable and used in performing other operation. So function with return value is the same syntax with the function that we declared in the previous lesson using the keyword func and the variable name which is rate value. So I named this as something similar to what I'm trying to talk on, which is return value. Then it takes an argument, two arguments, one of type integer and the other of type string. So what this does is for the integer type, okay, it have another variable that is being declared here, saying total is equal to x plus x, which means whatever the first argument the user passing, which is an integer, it should double it. That is, it should increase it by multiples of 2. That is times 2 of that. Then the message should be what? This is a variable that is being declared. Then it should be what? The message, whatever string the user passed in first, then it should be concatenated using this plus sign. It should be concatenated to this string, which is comma hello world. That is comma word. So whatever input the person has given as this y as the second argument, it should be concatenated to this string comma word. And return here, I have several ways of returning my value. One rule guiding that is that I have to declare the variable type, that is the type of return value. How many return value am I going to have? I can have a single return value, such as let me create a function here. Let me create a new function. Let me say return number. Then I use the type is, let me use x. There is a block scope of type integer. Then what I do next is just say int. I can just say int here, then I put my curly brackets to do whatever I have to do to that. I use it should just return it should return x. Then nothing happened. I'll put x, then it should only return x. That's just it. So this one is just so plain. What this does is assign the return value to be total. And what type is it? Of type integer. This one is only declaring the type, which is integer, while this one is also the type of string. So the return value is what is after the parameter that is being passed to this function. So what I have here is the parameter, which is x of type integer. Then since it's only one return value that I'm going to be having, which is what? Return x. Okay, I can just say return x plus x, which is it should double x, that is return x plus x. But what type is it? Type integer. I have to indicate it as a return value. I have to indicate this type integer. So now let me try to remove this and see what will happen. It says return. Let me highlight this. It says too many return value. So this is not gonna work, it's gonna break. So let me replace that into the code again. One way is just write the type, then in the return statement you can just, okay, let me say something here and a variable, and say, okay, let me say bwd is equal to, let me say x plus x. Then what I would like to just do here is to return bwd, which is what I have done here, just to return bwd. And how do I declare that one? I use a vast keyword, sorry about that. So bwd is a variable name. This is the operation to do, then return bwd, of which type? Of type integer. So if I should call this in my main function, that is ret number. If I should call this function in my main function, ret number, Then it says I should pass in an argument, which is already highlighting here. Ret number, take an integer as an argument. Let me say 10. I put 10 in it and I just save the file, and I come down here to compile the file here. So it will surely return something to me, but it won't be printing it to the screen. It won't be printing it to the screen. This one is for this. So if I should comment this out, I'm not using fmt. So this return value, I can save it into a variable. Let me say okay, var all right, don't let me use var. Let me use this type of declaration. Let me use bs is equal to this. That means you should take bs is equal to this. So you should take bs from this and take the value, whatever value this and whatever type this function is returning, you should set the type to this. So I print that is fmt print, let me use print ln and just print the value of bs to the screen. So now I save this and I come back here to re-execute my code. So what I should be having, since I already commented this code here, is 20, which is the function of return number, which means it will double it according to the code that I have written here, which is return x plus x, that is return bwd of type integer. So that is what that is just doing, it double it. But I don't need any of this, so I delete it and go back to my explanation on what I was trying to talk about. So I come down here, I continue to explain what I was explaining. Let me comment this out so it won't disturb me. Return value, I only specify what is going to return using that name. Total is going to return total of which type? Int. So if I can just declare here and say total, that you should return total and return string to the screen. So this is what not string, message, sorry, message. So this is the return statement, but I don't really need to state it here explicitly, since I already have it here that this is the variable that it will be returning, which is of type integer, and this one is of type string. So I don't need to be stating that explicitly here. I go to the top of this file to call that program again. So with return value, it should return this. Let's see what that will do. So I have this, it should be returning the double of this, and the first argument here is hello, which means it will concatenate word to it. So I save this and I come back here to recompile my code to see what that will do. And what it does is just to print since I passed in 5 and hello, so it will double the 5, which is 10, then hello word. So that's about return value in this. And for return value is always saved in a variable. That means it can be reused. So what I just do here is just to print whatever this is, but I can also reuse it in a variable, which I would like to comment this so we can see the code properly. So this one is still a comment, this one is still a comment. So then I save this number and text to take the type of the first return value, which is an integer. This one will become integer, then this one will become a string. So what is going to happen here is that it will print out number and text. It will do what it has to do, 5, and this one will be 20 and I word and all that. This one will be 20 I word, but it omits the first value, so it will be printing 20 for this last one, while it will be printing I word back underscore to escape the first return value, then to just print the second value, which is test2, just to take the second value, which is test2. That's what I'm trying to print here, test2. So I come here to execute and compile my code. So I should be expecting as you can see. So that is about return value for